Is anyone really buying this? Because I'm not. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the city of San Francisco's Board of Supervisors holding an open meeting for residents to express their opinion about the reparations bill. Now, in this bill, they are going to give Black residents of the city $5 million each. They're also going to give universal basic income of $97,000 per resident for 250 years. If you have personal debt in the city and you're a Black person, that'll be wiped out. Also, you will be eligible to get a house for $1 in San Francisco. Now, I have quite a few feelings about reparations in general. I'll talk about that a little bit later in the video, but right away, my reaction to that plan, I'm not buying it. I think it's just talk, lip service, political pandering. It's not really a real thing. You're trying to get in the good graces of those that support BLM and all kind of other diversity, equity, and inclusion type plans of all races, not just Black folks. It's only about 5% of San Fran's population is Black. You're trying to get those that support this kind of stuff, the leftist liberal people that infest the city. Just by talking about this, you're going to get them on board, although you're not really going to follow through. Now, before I go any further, let's roll the clip. In this clip, you'll be able to see some of the actual open hearing they had. If you want to see the clip in full without my commentary, link, as always, will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on my website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Proposal to give $5 million to every eligible Black person appears to be gaining support. At a city hearing yesterday, residents added their voices to the debate.
It is time for you to do the right thing and provide us with the reparations. Make us whole. Make us important in your lives. Black lives matter. You have an opportunity to demonstrate this today.
The San Francisco Board of Supervisors voiced enthusiastic support for more than 100 recommendations made by a city-appointed reparations committee. Other recommendations include guaranteeing annual incomes of at least $97,000 and homes in San Francisco for $1 a family. The committee submits a final report in June. It has not analyzed the cost of the proposals, but the conservative Hoover Institution says San Franciscans of other races would have to pay at least $600,000 per family.
$600,000 per family. Yikes. Talk about a crazy bill on that plan.
A complicated issue.
The question of who pays is really at the heart of it.
But they're really considering $5 million for a Black person?
That's the proposal.
That's a lot of money.
$97K per year, and then housing for $1 per family. I mean, I always quote Heather McGhee on this, who says history has a way of ending up in your bank account, and she's 100% right. You know, there's a reason why Black families have 1/10 of the wealth, generally speaking, than white families. But it's not because of San Francisco policy, it's because of federal policy and the actions of our government on behalf of all citizens.
See, guys like this would be the ones that support this kind of bill. They will support it in theory, but then when it comes time to actually raise the taxes and all that to pay for it, he wouldn't be behind it. Just the idea of them voicing support is enough to fulfill the white guilt obligation. That's all. It's simple like that. That's why this bill will never actually come to fruition. It'll never actually get done.
And so it's good that locally they're thinking about this, and you've covered this locally.
Yeah, and real estate and banking institutions, it's pervasive throughout.
But really, it's a national issue. We do need national leaders to step up.
For sure, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out and if it becomes a model for anywhere else.
Well, Evanston, Illinois, was the first city in the nation to pass reparations. Some citizens there got $25,000 each. And
that's a big difference between what San Francisco.
Huge difference. Huge difference.
So that's that. I mean, there's more, of course. I'll link to some articles and whatnot in the description so you can read. And of course, that video will be in the description. But that's it in a nutshell. Now, there's a lot I wanted to say. Let's talk about this idea in general, reparations. Okay, San Francisco, was there ever slavery in California? I'm just trying to figure out where we talking about exactly. Was there ever slavery there? So what we talking about, like Jim Crow, segregation, feelings of racism, you're getting paid for that. If I move to the city, or if I moved there within the past 10 years, would I be eligible to get this? I mean, how far must I go back in the city's history? How long have black folks been living in California? I mean, not as long as we've been here in America, I know that for sure. That's more of a recent phenomenon. So why would anybody get paid? I don't really understand. And then beyond that, just the obvious thing beyond that, let's talk about reparations all the way. Like, let's say, for example, you lived in a place where there was slavery, like North Carolina, Virginia, somewhere like that. You live there. Your name is the last name of a plantation owner. If you were to be paid anything, it should have happened at the end of slavery. Right when slavery ended, you were able to identify the slave owner and the slave himself. You were able to identify who they were. You could pay them accordingly from the federal government. It wouldn't come from the slave owner because it was a legal practice. It was not illegal. If the government says, okay, now we're making it illegal and we want to help people get on their feet, then you could do things at that point. But it shouldn't be the responsibility of anybody that was a slave owner or the descendants of a slave owner, because I don't think in the year 2023 that anybody's alive right now that owns slaves. We're talking about the descendants. Furthermore, it wouldn't just be non-blacks that were the slave owners. You're talking about black people themselves, whites, Asians, whoever, Native Americans. If you were here during slavery, you could have owned slaves, regardless of what your color is. Although the majority obviously are going to be white, that does not mean that were the only ones who were slave owners. And then what if you are of mixed heritage, which most black Americans are, if you've been here for a long time? What if your 3, 4 times, 5 times great grandfather was a slave owner, but you look like me? I mean, a little bit about me. I know y'all probably can't tell, but my 2 times great grandfather on my mom's side was white, like straight from Ireland. Okay, straight Irish, Notre Dame, like that guy. You know, I was at my grandma's house recently and we're going through pictures and they showed them, you know, I don't know who had it, my aunt or somebody pulled a picture out like, hey, that's your great grandfather. I'm like, who's this white man? My uncle dying laughing because nobody really said that except for me, but it's obvious. So what if he was a slave owner, although he wasn't? What if he was? And then you got both going on. So who gets paid? The whole thing is ridiculous. It's not going to happen. People talk about it because it's fun to talk about. Not just fun. That's probably the wrong word. It is a thing people want to speak about because either they're hopeful that money will come about or they want to satisfy people that think this is a virtuous thing. By having the conversation, people are satisfied. Okay, I'm guilty about being a white person. I got more than a black person. By you proposing this, my guilt is now satisfied. It doesn't matter if you follow through or not because I'm good. I'm satisfied. I'm straight. All I wanted you to do was talk about it. That's it. It's simple. And then the political people don't really care because regardless of whether they follow through on it or not, people are still going to vote Democrat. It's not like if they don't do this, then they were going to lose votes. They're going to have the same amount of votes regardless. So there's no incentive to actually do this. There's no incentive. They can't get any more votes. They won't get any more money. They won't get any more power. Why do it? But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about this plan from San Francisco? You think it'll go through? You think it won't go through? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. It's just political lip service. It's a thing to appease the people that believe in Black Lives Matter and they believe in the Black oppression Olympics. If you believe in that and you hear this proposal, you feel good. All you need to do is hear it. You don't care if they follow through on it. You don't care what the results are going to be. You don't care to follow up after any kind of money has been delivered. You have no concern about that. That's not going to make your day or not. So I already know what's going on here. It's just talk. That's why there's no real plan on how to pay for it because they don't intend on paying for it. It's very simple. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.